Blog Talk Radio.
Saludos, ladies and gentlemen. This is Armando F. Sanchez. Thank you for being on our program today. And what we're focusing on is to have one of the panelists who is presenting on the issue of it's part of the presentations that are going into the LEAD 10 Summit, which will be held at California State University San Bernardino on March 28th, 2019, and it's free, and it's also going to be webcast globally. So we're very, very excited about that. And again, the 10:50 a.m. presentation, Our Vote is Our Voice, and one of the persons on the panel who is directing everything as well and participating is Dr. Ellen Riojas Clark. She's a professor emerita from University of Texas, San Antonio. Wonderful university, wonderful location as well. So we're going to bring her on the show and have her explain to us what the emphasis will be about the panel, Our Vote is Our Voice. Thank you for being with us today, Dr. Clark.
Gracias. Good to be here.
Yeah, we had trouble getting her on the show earlier. She's off running around having fun over in Michoacan, Mexico. So she's a traveler, but she's also an author, a writer. So she may be a professor emerita, but she's probably more busier now than she was then. But it's really exciting to talk to you. Tell us about the panel. Our Vote is Our Voice, and what's the impression of what you're trying to share as a panel to the audience?
I think what what we are going to show is the fact that the Latino vote is going to be crucial in the upcoming elections, and that it is so important not only for us to get involved in whatever local politics, state politics, but of course at the national scene. It is so important to make sure that the potential that we have, that potential becomes a reality, and that the reality is that we will affect the vote at the next election. So I'm passionate about voting.
Sure. I remember Time Magazine said that, in the year 2020 and on, the Latino vote was going to be a majority up and coming, and yet it doesn't seem like it's been sort of focused on or somewhat ignored, and I think you're trying to bring that up to the surface, that we are a powerful source.
I think that we're a huge force for this coming year, or the coming elections. I do feel that the vote has been ignored by a majority of people running in whatever offices they are. They don't see the strength that we do have. So I think it's up to us as Latinos to make sure that everyone we know, everyone is not only registered, but will turn out to vote. Registration is not the hard thing. The hard thing is turning out the vote. And if we are successful in doing that, we will change the course of the United States for years to come.
Wow, that's powerful. Who shares the panel with you? Who's going to be also presenting on this topic?
Well, I think what's exciting about it is, of course, we're going to speak to the specifics of voting, and focuses on two people who had the most to do with this. And this is a Southwest Voter Registration Education Project that was initiated and started by Willie Velasquez. And then, of course, Antonio Gonzalez, who carried on the legacy. So we're going to have Lydia Camarillo from the Southwest Voter Registration Project speaking to both Willie and to Antonio. And then a memoria, un cuento personal from Janie Velasquez, the widow and partner in all of this fight of Willie Velasquez. Janie Velasquez will be on there. And then Jorge Haynes, an old workhorse from California and from Texas, a former padrino, will sum up the issues. And along with that, we will have Irma Muñoz, who heads Mujeres de la Tierra, who also worked with both Willie and Antonio, speaking to their legacy and the potential of that legacy that we have to realize.
Wow, what a historic and powerful group that is.
I know.
It sounds fantastic. And the persons that attend this session, this beautiful panel, what do you want them to take away with themselves from information you're sharing?
I want them to take away the fact that every Latino, every individual interested in changing the face of the United States must realize that it comes down to we have to get that vote out. We have to make sure that all of our comunidades, all our family, all our friends, all our students, que todo mundo salga a votar, because this will not happen if we don't show up, and it will not happen if we don't work for this. I'm going to put in a personal plug for Julian Castro. Imagínense, this is an incredible thing happening on the national scene. We have the first Latino to be running for president of the United States. Someone who comes clearly with all of the right strengths, abilities, and intellect to be able to be the first Latino president. Pero no pasa si no vamos a votar. I'm known as la chancla lady, that if you don't vote, les tiro la chancla. So I will say that my message to everyone is, salgan a votar, porque su voto es su poder. And if not, la doctora Ellen Riojas Clark les tira la chancla.
And I'm sure you have a lot of chanclas hanging around.
Ooh, baby, do I.
What we have a little bit more time. You hear people complaining that, policies and government is not doing or addressing their issues. And then you ask them, well, did you vote? They say no. Why do you see people, taking the challenge to be critical but not taking the time to vote?
It's because they think that their vote does not count, that their vote has no effect, that their vote will not change. But they don't see that one vote is part of a larger mass, that it's one of many, many other Latinos. So we harness all of those I didn't vote into I did vote. Then they will see that their vote will have an effect. We cannot fall into the scare methods put on by everyone else. One, they ignore us. Number two, they try to make it very difficult for us to vote. And number three, they just do not think that Latinos will vote. So therefore, we have to really turn out to do this. I remember, worked with Willie Velasquez early on, an old workhorse like Jorge. And it was always fascinating to me to see that one person, a Willie Velasquez, was able to garner so many people out to vote. One person. So that shows you the effect of that you can make change. And then I remember Antonio Gonzalez, who was one of my Mecha students at UTSA. And we had always big demonstrations at UTSA among Latino students for us to vote. And so again, Antonio was able to take his peers and walk, to the voting thing. And all of those students that I remember for the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s and 2000 are committed voters now. So your candidate of choice won, but we cannot give up. We have to keep on voting and making sure that this country of ours does represent all of the people in the United States.
Wonderful. At the end of your panel, we're getting to our final question. At the end of the panel presentation, are you usually, you and your panelists, usually available to the audience so that they can come up and talk to you and get information and sort of learn how to be proactive and very active in the upcoming elections?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to make sure that all the young people there, I mean, I look out at these audiences when I speak, and what I see is the legacy of what's to come. So, of course, we're going to want to exchange ideas. I want them to know that they can all be change agents. And as change agents, they do need us, the old workhorses, our shoulders and so forth. But this new generation has so much to offer. And, of course, we will be so glad to share what we know and for them to take that on and expand it in their new ways.
We want to thank
I hope
Dr.
everybody
Ellen
will listen, and I hope everybody will vote.
And if not, you got your chancla in your hand.
I got my chancla ready. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank Dr. Ellen Riojas Clark, Professor Emerita from University of Texas, San Antonio, for being on our show today. Again, it will be the LEAD 10 Summit Conference at California State University, San Bernardino, on March the 28th, 2019. It's free all day, to attend, and the panel shoe will be on. It's at 10:50 in the morning. Our vote is our voice. Please attend. You will really enjoy meeting the leaders, get ideas from them. If the audience is already partially there, you will definitely get a lot of motivation, a lot of perceptions, how they did it, and how you can do it as well, because I'm going to take away the word change agents from Dr. Clark. Thank you for being on the program, Dr. Clark. I wish you complete success to you and your panel. Say hi to Jorge. I know when he was over at the central office in Long Beach, he was also doing a lot of great work as well. So un aplauso for all of you Tejanos. You guys are a whole special breed, and I applaud that.
Yes, yes. Mucho gusto y nos vemos.
Gracias. Thank you very much for being on our program. If you have any questions, please contact me at afsanchez66@gmail.com. But again, un aplauso for the whole panel and for the entire LEAD conference, LEAD 10 at California State University, San Bernardino, and with the direction of Dr. Enrique Murillo putting it all together. So, aplauso. Thank you, Dr. Clark, and we'll have you on the show in the near future.
Thank you so much. Adios.
Adios.